obviously they're going to need some kind of performance like that to be able to get back into this series because they are down 1-0, and if they lose again, they're out.
Yep. It is a position 5 Dark Willow, though. In my opinion, not the strongest position for the hero, but it can definitely work. The reason being this hero is very level dependent, the way I see it. Obviously, the spells are good, but the cooldown scaling is really significant and requires you to at least hit that level 9, I would say, when you have high levels in Shadow Realm and Bramble Maze to really reach a high impact position. But they have other things to play around with, obviously. We've got Jarex on Sand King, which I'm excited to see. I don't think he plays this hero that often, but obviously one of the classic 4s, just not one that OG has been prioritizing that much historically. Resolution on Terrorblade, Viper for No Tail, and finally Clockwork S4 Classic.
Classic.
Will be played by him. They were taking some time to decide whether to pick Clock or not, because they were kind of caught in this kind of position where almost no matter what hero they last picked for S4, it had weaknesses in the game, and they ended up settling for the Clockwork, who's obviously not that great against Rubik. I don't think Weaver is that good of a matchup either. I was looking at Enigma as a possible option, they probably deemed it too greedy. And that would obviously also be Enigma into Rubik and Doom. But
yeah, I feel like the Rubik pick was very good for
It was definitely very good.
And they picked it after the Sand King, I believe, which is obviously one of the best skills you can take in Burrow Strike.
Yeah.
So keep an eye on Rubik this game for Vici, as looks like Flying Company want to bully Vici out of this bounty rune. Question is, will they actually go higher? And I doubt it. So we'll likely get a split on runes.
So it's going to be an offlane Doom here for Young 11. And then Ori on the mid Puck. Pretty unusual nowadays to have Puck in the mid position in competitive Dota, but I actually still like it sometimes. Fenrir Coddle is also pretty classic. Land him on Rubik, and then Paparazzi Weaver. This is one of Paparazzi's best heroes. I don't think he plays that often in competitive, but if I were to name one hero that is iconic for this player, in my mind, is this. So I'm expecting big things out of Paparazzi in this game.
Look at this cosmetic for Ori. It actually looks like he has a double damage, right? Yeah. That is very colorful. In fact, the Chinese with cosmetics, I have to say, they are by far the best of any region.
Yeah, what's this Coddle staff?
I don't know.
What's that even called? Genuine Strike
I think
of
some
the
of their
light.
items they just don't even have in other regions.
I don't know. I've never seen the staff before.
How about we pay attention to the game, Pimp? Thanks. Even though we're talking about absolute
part of the game.
Yep. We have the Burrow Strike being applied. Looks like Doom is going to be the first blood, and it will go to Fly. Talked about this hero needing some early farm / levels. We'll see if that ends up helping his cause.
And we'll see this time around if OG choose to do something else than safe lane tri-laning. I think it would be a mistake to do it once again, like they did in the last game. Somebody needs to move and put pressure elsewhere so they can get better levels. And Sand King is indeed moving in toward mid. No Tail will die, though.
Yes, he will. Jarex a little bit too late, but the Burrow Strike is there. Another right click will take out Puck, so they get some sort of revenge as Jarex is all over the map early on in this game.
I actually think this favors OG. They get to get the levels on Sand King. This hero really wants these levels, just like the Willow does. Pretty greedy support duo in some way. So this trade-off, he gets a lot of experience.
Level 1, talking about the worst stuns in the game, level 1 Burrow Strike, if you want to go back to that conversation.
It's a lot better than a lot of other stuns.
Resolution, half HP.
Yep, he's going to get spammed out a lot here, but he has the right item build for it. He has a flask and 10 tangos, so he's going to sustain himself just fine for now. Time for bounty runes. Young 11 will actually get this in time if he's closest, but he's not. So Fly will get it. Sneaking up and getting that.
Fly level 2 now. Be keeping an eye on him as well this game. Now the Clockwork, how important is it for him to have a huge impact in this game? We talked about how many counters there are, and what, I guess the better question is, what can he do to have an impact when he's countered, I would say, somewhat severely in this game?
I think it's really great if he can catch Coddle. Coddle does a lot in team fights. He's a really annoying hero.
Mid lane, illuminate into a waning rift, illusory orb, a combination.
Died.
And Ori, he feels like he's hitting with the double damage right now.
I was going to say Puck had double damage there.
Good lord.
He hits really hard. Yep. Yeah, they're pressuring No Tail quite a lot here. Well, the best play I see for Clockwork in this game, most fights, will be to jump the Coddle, right? Because you jump Puck, Puck will generally be able to get out. Weaver has time lapse. Rubik can lift you. Speaking of which, that's actually happening right now. And S4 will day. No, maybe not. He had enough sticks.
Now Paparazzi playing it disciplined. S4 with the health salve now.
Yeah,
He'll be back up.
Totally fine, actually. I don't know how many stick charges he had, but that's a great item against Weaver, obviously.
Indeed. So if you go for the Coddle, do you think a rush of Force Staff will come into play for Fenrir?
I think he wants it anyway. It's a really good item on Coddle in general, and it's even better this game, I would say. It's also a good item against Viper. It's a good item against Sand King. It's a good item against Willow. You can get out Brambles, help your teammates get into a better position. So I think that will be the item priority for Fenrir regardless. But it's just like I'm looking at good targets, right? You can maybe jump the Doom and pressure him. Doom's cast points are not ideal, so that's super annoying. But the question is if your team can actually follow through and kill him without being punished too hard. Doom is often not the target you want to jump first.
Right.
So, hard clock game, but S4 has delivered on in difficult games a lot of times in the past.
I mean, he's doing really well for himself. 12 and 13 in terms of CS and level 4.
Surely none of those denies are cogs. Absolutely not.
Oh, that actually counts towards stats?
Yeah,
That's true.
I wonder how many true denies he has. Maybe he has like 2 or 3.
What if it was 12?
That would be pretty sick. I mean, he is
pretty high level.
He is actually out-leveling Paparazzi a little
11
bit.
TPing out. We'll be good to go. Illuminate.
Mid lane,
well.
no lift. Go for it.
And no tail. With a 2-0-2 build right now, is there any good use for break this game?
No.
Literally no. I mean,
There's
anything that
nothing.
If Doom eats a creep with a passive?
Do you break null field?
Yeah, you should.
I guess. So that's what he can break.
It also
like
lowers magic resistance in general as well, so it's actually a double whammy against Rubik, technically speaking.
Yeah. Sure.
S4, oh, he's taking a lot of damage from the swarm and the right clicks. Should be enough to get the kill for Vici Gaming. But still, a lot has been said about this clockwork, and he's still, I feel like, doing way better than we expected, especially in the early game.
It's expected outcome that he dies in lane at least once. For him to get almost level 5 before that happens, I think he should be very happy with.
Jarek's still only level 2 on the Sand King. He really wants that second level of Burrow Strike before he can be truly effective. Basically has to hug any enemies he sees right now to be able to secure that stun. Of course, you do have Cursed Ground to work with, which is, I would say, a great setup for the level 1 Burrow Strike especially.
Oh, speaking of setup, mid lane could get interesting right now. Both teams are actually setting up for a play. Jarex gets his level 3 and is sitting on the hill. Will be forced away by Ori, but he's actually running into the Rubik. And
he is level 3 now, gets the Burrow Strike off.
No lift.
Illuminate will not hit. So early on, Terrorblade having a great time in that lane, 36 and 18 for CS.
We haven't talked much about Terrorblade in general in this game, what he's going to do. It was OG's overall first pick in the draft for their team, and there's a couple of things that Terrorblade is not that good against. I think Blinding Light is actually very annoying. He can get doomed, so he can't Sunder, and there's Puck's AoE nukes, but I still think this is a pretty good Terrorblade game overall, and OG are very experienced at playing Terrorblade game style, so from a game plan perspective, you're going to 100% expect them to know exactly what they need to do and when. And him having free farm is integral to the progress of their lineup. It's okay if No Tail dies a couple of times in mid for this Terrorblade to have a great start.
And we're seeing the same Hood build we've been seeing a lot of heroes as of recently. This time going to be picked up by No Tail at some point. What's the best creep? What do you think the best creep is for
Helm of the Dominator, you mean?
Yeah, the creep to take over.
What's good in this game? Yeah, he might be getting it primarily to get siege creeps, to be honest, just so they can push. So he has the siege creep with the Ring of Aquila and with the attack speed aura from the Dominator. But if he wants to get something else, I think in this game maybe the Ensnare against Weaver could be nice. The way of controlling the Doom as well. I don't think Ice Armor is a bad choice either. So you get that running up against the, to try to offset the advantage that Scarabs usually gives in fights. But, or the Swarm, rather.
Old name.
Yeah. And of course, Alpha Wolf will be great for Terrorblade and Viper both. So, but it's very rare that you will say Alpha Wolf is a bad creep, right?
Yeah.
It's almost always useful.
For sure. We have Infernal Blade coming out. Resolution. Here's the
Bramble. Great Bramble from Fly,
holding
actually.
Young 11 in, and that Cursed Crown's going to stun him, but don't think OG's going to pursue any further.
Level 6, though.
Illuminate coming out. Ori, like you said, not quite 6 yet.
It's a bit of a waste of TP.
And that's going to create some extra space for No Tail's Viper right now.
You really don't like doing this as a core. Like, you TP to a lane, and then you don't have an immediate impact there, so you just TP'd away, because the opponent is going to pressure your lane right away. You just look what No Tail's doing. He's like, oh, great.
Top lane, Sentry's place, so Sandstorm will not be nearly as effective. Jarek's trying to get that Scarab off of him, but
it's called the Swarm.
Paparazzi ends up netting himself with a kill. Yeah. Did you just... You're the worst. Cog's going to place Young 11 in a terrible spot. Resolution no longer metamorphs, but doesn't matter. They find the damage one way or the other. S4 now level 6.
Yep, that was the debut hook shot.
That's definitely what they need. As Fly probably be using this Tome of Knowledge in the next couple minutes to help him get level 6 as well. And like we've talked about in the past with that hero, Dark Willow.
I think he's giving it to Sanking this game.
Yeah, that's actually a potential too.
Sanking is really low level compared to... Fly's a full level ahead, so yeah, it's not like the supports on Vici are doing any better. Caudal is level 3.5 and Rubik's almost level 5, so it's pretty much even across the board. A slight advantage for OG in that regard.
Fenrir's got some stacks he's wanting to go through right now.
Yeah.
This is a hero that Flash Farm is...
He's like, please, Young 11, get rid of this big satyr. I've been bothered by it for like a minute. I've tried to farm this.
Bad health regen, oh god.
It's so good against Caudal. I love when the neutral camps counter Caudal.
You don't like the AUI days of just stacking the jungle and literally never leaving your lane? Oh, there's another satyr for him.
Oh.
To have a little taste later. But he's pretty happy about that. Resolution going to apply some pressure on the tier 1 bottom.
For this
Young
gift.
11. Being pressured a bit. Curse Crown is essentially just being spammed on this hero.
How expensive is that spell? It's 100 mana, right? He has mana boost, so it doesn't really matter. 18-second cooldown. It's... You know, sometimes you can try to play the bait game where you're casting a spell and you don't really intend on doing anything, but you're just trying to force TPs. Forcing TPs has a huge impact.
S4, he's looking for the hook shot. Might not even need it.
For real,
Curse
though.
Crown is going to be there. The cogs, battery assault as well. Looks like Resolution finds his way inside of there. And they're going to be able to find themselves another kill for OG. So 4-4 tied up. They have a slight net worth lead, but still obviously extremely close game early on.
When's the last time S4 hit a creep this game? He's been like just roaming for 3 minutes, I think.
I mean, it's created some space for Jerax to get some levels top.
Yeah, I like this choice. I think Sanking has to be prioritized a bit here. It's
he knows there's a
very
sentry
unusual
there.
that the offlaner does this, obviously.
Yeah.
Just full-on roams. Generally, you make a move and then get a rune. Oh, I'll go back to farm. He found Fenrir.
He does find Fenrir. Gets the kill with battery assault. TP's out in style. In the meanwhile, though, Jerax will be taken out by Paparazzi. So a trade of sorts as Resolution being pressured by Young 11. There's the Sunder. Lots of damage. Down he goes. Doom is dead. Double kill for Resolution. He was working towards...
What was Young 11 hoping for there? It's like, oh, I hope I just randomly get level 6 while I'm chasing this guy.
Maybe he didn't level Sunder, hopefully. Oh, God.
You can obviously check that by just mousing. Maybe he got baited. It's possible that Resolution held the skill point and he checked him and he was like, oh, he doesn't have Sunder, and then he skilled it. That could have definitely happened. I didn't see it, though, but...
No tell level.
Easy kill for Rezo.
He gets coiled up here. Do they have any more coming? Jerax is here, though, to counteract this. Nice phase shift orb combination for Ori to get out, but coil is expended. But at least nobody dies for Vici Gaming if you're from their perspective. No tail.
Oh, good lift into the tower.
4 levels of corrosive skin at the moment. And Jerax looks like he's going to find Paparazzi, or maybe it's the other way around. Paparazzi gets some nice vision on flying Jerax. And most heroes are in mid lane right now.
I'd say overall in this game, definitely so far so good for OG. They have managed to secure Terrorblade more or less a completely flawless early game with 3 kills and 83 CS minute 11, so very, very good for them. Is the #1 key hero in this game to look out for, so the fact that he's having a great time is the most important thing. They've kind of stabilized after their laning, they've got their level 6s on supports. You look on the other side of the board, Caudal is about to get his, but it's just, this is one of those things that happens when you pick Caudal Rubik as your support duo, right? Like, there's no true 4 in this game necessarily. Like, Caudal needs to get farm to become that kind of 4. It doesn't work that way in the start. And there's been Liquid strategies in the past where they play Caudal and Rubik as their support duo, but then they generally have like more fitting cores, and that's one of the limitations of Captain's Draft, obviously.
Oh, Resolution gets coiled with the illusory orb, still silenced up, has Sunder in 5 seconds. We'll see if he can actually live through this engagement. Burrow Strike being applied, the Sunder I'm sure will come through shortly, and Ori is now very low on HP, still hasted up. Illusory orb comes out, hook shot will miss. Nice prediction though, as No Tail looks like he's taken out by the Shikuchi. And after all that, No Tail dies in mid of all lanes. Oh
Jerax.
That burst damage, ridiculous. Jerax dodges the auto attack though with the Sandstorm. Looks like Fly is on the menu though for Vici Gaming. Did pick up that Bedlam, which is stolen by the Rubik. S4, no hook shot for 48 seconds. And that's 3 dead for OG. Kind of a chaotic fight there overall.
I love the movement from Vici Gaming, like the way they're weaving in and out of fights. They obviously have the mobility advantage with the Weaver and the Puck, but they're just trying to play fast when they hit this timing with their spells in that 1 rune. And now we have a big item coming up here from Paparazzi, the Diffusal Blade, and of course has that level 10 talent as well. So the mana burn per attack now is 70. It's absolutely ridiculous how fast this Weaver can render some of these Radiant heroes completely useless.
Why does he have the mana break talent at 10? That I don't understand that. It's insane.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
It's ridiculously good. It's one of the, it might be one of the best, probably top 5. We're gonna have a coil here in the mid lane. Burrow Strike, epicenter combination. Noto trying to do as much damage before he dies. Majority of Vici Gaming quite low. S4 looks like they'll clean up 1, so ends up being a trade of the mid laners. Meanwhile, Cursed Crown applied to the Doom into the Bramble Maze. And that looks to be another kill going the way of OG. Jerax secures that with the Burrow Strike. Swarm coming out, though, is going to hit a couple heroes. What was stolen here? Burrow Strike.
Oh, that's a big steal.
High quality steal for Lan M. Terrorize on its way, hits 2 heroes. Resolution's like, please, I want to right-click them. Don't let them back in the base. And that is so much damage. Fenrir is just eaten alive by that Metamorphosis Resolution. Paparazzi and company had to use the time-lapse to be able to get out of dodge, so...
Yeah. Oh, Resolution's manning up here. Playing a bit of an aggressive style here, but he feels kind of immortal. Doom is still available. We haven't seen Doom cast yet, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's been used. He's level 8. It's pretty unusual that Doom gets 2 full levels without casting that spell. But Vici haven't really managed to find a way of setting up Young 11 to run in and just find a target. It is not the easiest game for Doom to do that in this game. Obviously, the clock is annoying, the Sand King stun is instant, and then you have both the Terrorize and the Brambles that you need to find your way through. So it's rough for him. We're going to see how he's going to itemize to try to solve that problem. For now, he's got a Gloves of Haste in his quick buy. Does he have Midas Recipe? Yeah, he does. So he's going the greedy route on the Doom. Not sure if that's the best choice this game, but we'll see.
Oh, Jerax gets off the Burrow Strike. Curse Crown applied, but Paparazzi with the time lapse. And he's good to go. I mean, the one good thing about Doom getting the Midas is you get to that level 15 now, super fast, which obviously is the bonus Devour Gold, which used to be at level 10.
Yeah, damn, that's so much bonus gold. 150.
So 150 bonus gold on Devour plus the Midas. So if this game goes, let's say 40, 50 minutes, he is going to be like 4 or 5 slotted at that point, at the very least.
He's going to be 6 slotted minute 45 if he just gets to farm now and not too much.
Henry gets hook shot. There's the Cogs, Battery Assault, nice blinding light, taking S4 out of here. He can't even kill his own Cogs, the poor guy. S4, in the meanwhile, gets coil. Do they have a stun? Infernal Blade, is it available? Doesn't look like it.
Did he get hit by a Battery Assault? I think he did.
Perhaps.
So he got animation cancelled.
Well, S4 lives.
Messed up.
And coil was expended. They had Doom as well.
I definitely don't want to Doom that. Well, it's like he feels like he will get that swing off.
Yeah.
Ultimately, he was a bit unlucky, right? Like if the Battery Assault hits the other hero, then he will get it off. I believe it was still running. If it wasn't running, it's just a misplay. Stuff happens. Sometimes you mess up. S4 very happy to get out of that alive and very lucky. So what's next? OG grouping up toward bottom. They have Siege Creep ×2, courtesy of this Helm of the Dominator from No-Tail, so this push will be very strong.
Illuminate, obviously extremely good at clearing waves, but not so much the siege units.
Exactly.
No-Tail aggroing that tower for now. And it's actually pretty crazy how much they buff these things. They are pretty redonk these days. Bloodlusted, with ogres in the game.
In competitive,
they become better than some heroes, in fact.
In competitive Dota, the first 15 minutes actually circles a lot around these in most games. Since the change to the Siege Creep that made it so powerful, teams are actually starting to play around the Siege Creep as an integral part of the game. In the past, there was just like a nice little side thing that was there, but now you're actually like making smoke plays to go to your Siege Creep to try to push towers. You're getting Helm of the Dominator because the Siege Creeps are so strong. It's definitely a change of pace from the past.
I remember when Siege units were added to the game in general. Everybody was like, that's super random. And then they were good, eventually. Paparazzi sees No-Tail mid. Of course, he has the spell or the spell steal talent, I believe, up right now. Is he going to be going? He's going Orchid, actually. We see a lot of Veil on Vipers with this talent. What do you think of that build? Are you a fan?
The which one?
Veil. Like the Veil spell.
The Veil build. Yeah, I think it's pretty good in a lot of games. I think when you buy Helm of the Dominator, you do not get Veil as your second item. You need to be more ambitious here.
One of the two.
I like the Veil build. I think the first player I saw really use it was right after the patch came out. Matumba Man was running that build in, I believe it was Dota Pit, maybe? With great success, actually. I still think it's a good way to play Viper. Try to have that magic focus.
Now we have potential fights on two sides of the map. Burrow Strike applied to the top, but S4 is the one that dies in the bot. And there's the cancel of the TP. LANM is here for support. Here comes a resolution illusion, at the very least. Burrow Strike is there, and look at how much damage Metamorphosis. I'm always very surprised, for some reason, how much damage this thing does as LANM is just being pounded upon. Look at that range. Thanks to that beautiful Dragon Lance. It's actually going to be enough. Double kill for Resolution.
He is really, really strong right now.
And it's going to be a free tier 1. And the question is, what is the best item to go next on Resolution? You go for a straight up Scotty? You go for some evasion, perhaps?
Is this Lincoln's game? I don't know. It's like, you're always tempted to go Lincoln's against Doom, right? But yeah. I don't know if it's the right choice. There's an eventual mana leak that can just counter it from long range. There's Rubik with Spell Steal that can break it. I don't think it's good enough. I think just raw stats is probably best. Scotty into Butterfly would probably be the go-to of most players in this position. We'll see what he does. He's running past the shop now. He could buy a point booster if he wanted to. Not gonna happen though. And nothing in quick buy. So he might be considering it himself for now. Yep. The right choice is. Curious about this no-tail build. So he played this earlier today where he went for this Helm of the Dominator into Orchid build, and he's copying it this time. And obviously Orchid has some good uses in this game, but it also renders him really, really fragile. Like, usually you're seeing these Vipers that are hard to bring down, but honestly he's going to be food later on for this Weaver.
Well, that's where that Ogre Ice Armor creep could come in handy to some degree.
Absolutely.
Of course, there is a ton of magic damage, though, coming the way of Vici, so potential BKB at some point, perhaps.
How much innate magic resistance does Viper have with 4 and Corrosive? What's that? 43. It's pretty good.
Not too bad. Now, Paparazzi, what are we working on now? Looks like he's going to be going... This is the Lincoln's game, apparently. Want to try to... I've always been bothered why it blocks Burrow Strike. I hate that, actually. I really hate that.
You hate very random things for random reasons. Probably for wrong reasons.
Oh, No-Tail. There's the Doom first of the game. Infernal Blade as well. No-Tail resigned to his death. And he's down for 50, so 2K lead here for Vici.
How often do you see that happen? First Doom of the game, minute 20.
Yep. Oh, big hook shot here onto LANM. He gets a telekinesis off, and S4 is getting some help with that Bramble Maze, and it looks like they're going to find the Rubik kill with that Shadow Realm.
Who's Brambles or who is Shannon here?
Yeah, that's the real question. Jerax, looks like they're going to find him, at least for now. He gets silenced up in the Waning Rift. There's the mana leak, and oh my god, that's a hilarious interaction. You can't go in the water there, unfortunately. Resolution, chasing with the Reflection. Fenrir on the run. Cursed Crown. That is a dead old man on a horse. 1 for 2, my friend.
Dead horse.
That's a good name of a band, I'm pretty sure. Dead Horse. Dead Horse Studios. That used to be the name of Moonduck before somebody changed it. Looks like he is. Really looks like Resolution is going for. No, that is not a bad suggestion. How dare you?
Horrible.
Scotty, Metamorphosis and Reflection. Young 11. He is getting ripped apart by Resolution. A couple more right clicks will definitely suffice. He just needs the vision.
S4, meanwhile, will die to Paparazzi in mid. This is the problem when Weaver gets to this phase. Like, you catch anyone off guard, you defusal them and hit them 3 times, they're out of mana, there's just no play. Yeah. And they even have the synergy with Coddle, which I'm interested to see that coming into play later, maybe with Mana Leak together with all this mana burn Weaver.
That's a stolen Nether Toxin. That means No-Tail has to be very weary of this. He's very squishy to the right clicks. Paparazzi ends up netting the kill for himself. And that's a super easy steal that we haven't mentioned is the Nether Toxin. Not too shabby.
Yeah, you get that or you get Viper Strike. You're happy with both, right?
Yeah,
very good spell steals.
Oh, Jerax gonna get Shikuchi. There's the Swarm.
Dust on Paparazzi.
And the Dust, Diffusal as well. He's stuck on the cliff. And that's gonna be an easy kill for Vici again.
It's beautiful to watch Paparazzi on this hero. He is so good at Weaver.
Oh, Fly. He pops the Shadow Realm. Blinding Light was applied as well. He takes some damage from the Illuminate. Here's the Burrow Strike from LANM. Easy steal for him again, and Fly pops the Bedlam, but really to no avail as this Tier 1 tower is now under threat.
Vici are starting to build themselves a pretty significant gold advantage, and this is with Resolution having 100 CS more than the Weaver on that Terrorblade.
He's 3K higher than everybody in the game.
Terrorblade is very rich, but he is kind of on his own in this game, it almost feels like later on. Like, who's going to scale with him? The Viper went for a super fragile build. Clockwork is not a very well-scaling offlaner. Willow is position 5, not going to scale. So you've got the Sand King to rely on. He doesn't even have a Blink Dagger. Minute 23. Jerax does not have a Blink. That is extraordinarily late for him, and by this just average in general. He's having a rough time, and it's this Weaver that's just killing him all the time. This time he brought the dust and just soloed him. It's rough. Sand King actually doesn't have a counterplay to this except trying to TP out. Like he can't stun him. He gets diffused. He probably can't stun away.
And you're seeing the confidence here from Paparazzi going for an Orchid and eventual Bloodthorn. Yep. He will hit extremely hard. Will be able to kill the majority of OG. Of course, you have some escape mechanisms from Dark Willow, but not if you're silenced.
Yep, now he changed it to BKB. Great prediction.
Okay, well, it was
good
still
insight
a good choice
from you.
Well,
to play
BKB blocks spells, so I have that going for me. Pretty sure that's still the case.
Yeah.
But
I don't know what you just said.
He's playing it pretty safe. He's going to have Lincoln. I mean, he's doing enough damage. He doesn't really...
I don't know if you should buy BKB here.
No?
I feel like he's rolling, man. I don't think he needs this right now. I was actually
going to...
I
look at it as disciplined.
I was going to praise him for the Bloodthorn idea, because first of all, this is one of the best carries in the game to get Bloodthorn on, and he needs to keep playing from ahead, I think. Now that he's strong, they need someone to just flat out deal that damage that is going to bring Terrorblade down. If he goes for a BKB and more defensive build, his like threat factor drops off. Sure, maybe he can't be killed so easily, but at the same time, who's going to kill Terrorblade?
Yeah,
it's Rezo is reaching a really dangerous point now. He's 2,500 health on this Terrorblade with Manta and Scotty. He's an absolute monster in the fights, and I don't think this gold lead is... Oh, hang on.
Yeah, we have a smoke gank here from OG.
Fail.
They find Paparazzi, but that's a very difficult kill, especially with that Lincoln's online. Oh, we have a blink from Young 11. Looks like he gets the Doom off, and that is a dead Dark Willow.
Didn't Doom yet.
Actually, didn't even bother having to use Doom. He's inside the cogs. Look at the right clicks. He's broken with that Nether Toxin, taking tons of right clicks with that newly picked up Scotty from Resolution. Nice Burrow Strike onto two heroes. They are ripping right through Vici right now. 3 for 2. Paparazzi is next on the menu, but he does time-lapse and the Shikuchi. Resolution still has Sunder. Of course, has to pop that Lincoln somehow.
This fight is not over yet.
Earn apply. He's going to Sunder his teammate.
Thanks, Jerax.
Jerax is there to help his team. Resolution.
They could kill no-tail here. I think Paparazzi wants this kill. Pretty sure.
See if he goes for it. Ori is on the other side of the river. He's going to get Burrow struck off the bat into a Viper Strike. He's going to take a ton of damage. And Paparazzi, though, in the meantime, trying to get out of dodge as well. So they do trade the heroes, Viper and Puck. Paparazzi, there's that Burrow Strike being blocked by Lincolns for some reason. And he TP's out to safety.
Good fight for OG. I don't know, that was such a long fight that Doom didn't cast Doom in. I think he had multiple opportunities. He was like animation canceling it because I think he was trying to find the right Terrorblade, and he just, in the midst of all that, couldn't find the right one. And maybe he would have been better off just dooming someone else so the spell at least gets used. That's a really big team fight that they just flat out didn't use a key ability in, and who knows what would have happened. But OG are going to cash in nicely on that fight. Terrorblade, once again, staying alive. He's now 10-0. Resolution's having the time of his life in this game, and importantly so. If he didn't, then this game would look pretty grim.
Yeah, No-Tail picking up the Orchid officially, and obviously really good against Weaver, but he does have Lincoln. You need something to pop that, but on the other hand, he is still going BKB.
Yeah, that might be the reason he's getting it, actually. We didn't talk so much about the Orchid threat for that choice, but nice. There's pros and cons to almost every build, obviously, and the con to this will be that damage will fall off for a little bit, but maybe they can just play the fights long enough with this Caudal. Obviously, that is a support that becomes one of the best supports in the game the later it goes. Like, Blinding Light is always incredible, and you get the Aghanim Scepter. He's more than halfway to completing that. Smoke here, OG.
Oh, Paparazzi's
my god!
Okay, that damage is ridiculous. Fly looks to be next. He's trying to get off a Terrorize. It does go off, but shortly after his death, No-Tail coiled up and will be brought down shortly in all likelihood. Young 11 attempting to chase down Resolution. That is a double kill for Paparazzi as 3 are in the grave for OG. They
have eyes on Rezo here.
And Vici.
Doom is available. He stomps the ground.
He's just very angry. Paparazzi chasing, has a Diffusal Blade.
He will be able to reach it here, but
don't think they're going to chase any further. Was he trying to hit Scorched Earth or something?
I don't know. I just love that move, no matter what the reason is. Like,
damn it!
Didn't get it. Still 3 nice kills. I cannot believe how fast they killed that Sand King.
Yes.
That was a Blink, Veil, Silence, and Illusory Orb combo with like 1 attack from Weaver. He just vanished, and they cleaned up a couple of extras after. Did not get the big prize there in Resolution, so fortunately for OG not losing that, but pretty much everything they claimed in the fight in the Dire Jungle has just been thrown back immediately right in the opposite direction. So Vici Gaming progressing towards some very nice items. Obviously, the Keeper of the Light Axe that we mentioned, 1k away.
Yeah.
Doom has completed Shiva's Guard. He's working on BKB, and he has the level 15 Devour Gold talent. Look at his net worth skyrocket in the next 10 minutes. Weaver's BKB is 100 gold away. It's going to be rough for OG, right? Because you look at this Terrorblade, that's such a monster, but they really have to make sure that they get the jump and don't just lose their stun immediately. If they lose 1 or 2 stuns in the start of the fight, they just get killed by this Puck and Weaver. Terrorblade won't have anyone to hit. He can't find the Weaver, he can't find the Puck. And Blinding Light will just get rid of his illusions. So, not easy for a resolution in this game.
Apparently only 3 more Midas uses to pay for that Midas itself. But
oh,
a strike into the Sandstorm. You have silence though.
Damn,
and
that
a blink out
so
to safety.
Good.
Here's the hook shot though, and the right clicks from Resolution are enough to net themselves that kill. Lan M. So use Telekinesis, double burrow strike from Jarex. He really wants to win this game for OG. Cursed Crown.
He does. That was so good by Jarex. Wow.
And this is a tier 2 tower for OG, and this is exactly what they need. They really need to get Roshan at some point as well.
Yeah, they might be... How long is left on meta? Like 20 seconds. I don't think they get Rosh here. But that is, regardless, that was really nice from Jarex. Like, just taking the chance on that stun. What if Puck actually goes in and he got him on the before the jaunt, and then they follow up with the hook shot into Cogs by S4. Another double stun that didn't yield any kills, but it was very close there. Big plays from Jarex. Give them a tower and a core kill. Not too bad.
Paparazzi officially now has that 10-second BKB, so...
Straight into MKB as his next
close to impossible to kill in a lot of cases, I feel, in these fights.
Fly.
Being chased, but...
That's Shadow Realm. Very good spell against Weaver.
And No-Tail, we're still sitting on that Orchid. We'll be going for a Shadow Blade next, it seems. Lan M has the Force Staff, of course. Already a good counter to Clockwork inherently, but with that Force Staff even more so, can help out his teammates as well.
Yep.
And we'll be going for the Blink Dagger special in addition.
And I think with at the rate this game is going, we're looking at a very likely 45-minute plus game. There's a good chance that this goes to a very late game. I don't know if Terrorblade can win this game alone, actually. I don't think he can.
This feels like a game at TI 6. Was it no, it was TI 7 when DC did well? I can't even remember anymore.
TI 6.
TI 6 when I was there. Resolution played Morphling, and he was basically in the same position. Top net worth, everybody else on the team was doing god-awful. And he literally won that game by himself because of the split pushing. A lot of canceled TPs, of course, but he ended up getting Mega Creeps by himself. And that's
a different kind of hero. Terrorblade does not really work the same way. And it's not like we're trashing his team or anything. I'm just looking at the farm and what heroes they have. And this
the problem is they don't scale because the Dark Willow is the 5. Right.
That and Viper's itemization. Like, No-Tail specifically went for this build with a timing in mind, and I think the timing has been missed. Like, his item build has just not paid off. And when you go for this Orchid and you don't get an immediate payoff right after, you kind of regret it after 5 minutes. Like, they just didn't get the fight that he was hoping for. If he had more of a scaling build on the Viper, I would feel a lot more confident in OG's ability to win this game. It's obviously still entirely possible. Like, Terrorblade is still very strong, but if nothing happens, I think Vici are very happy with the progression of the game. Now, something is happening here. This is a great play from OG, absolutely uncontested. Vici are not even close, so this is a free one. Swarm is too late from Paparazzi, and that is the first Roshan of the game, right?
Yes.
31 minutes, very unusual for an OG game. OG are generally very good at taking Roshan at a good timing, but haven't really been able to find it until now in this game.
Jarex just picked up a Force Staff, by the way. Does he have a Blink as well, or is he still...
He has the Blink.
Okay, so he ended up farming.
He got a couple of good fights, so he's got
a couple of good fights. He's been split pushing a lot on the sidelines, just taking out creep waves, blinking into the trees, and TPing out immediately, which is kind of a sign of a team that is behind right now, but it's not that drastic. It's only 5k for Vici at the moment, but like you said, they're very comfortable taking this into the late game.
I feel like this Doom is just getting 1,000 gold per minute. He obviously isn't, but it's kind of ridiculous. Just looking at him right now, ramping it up with Midas and Devour. Just between those two things, if you don't even consider what he's killing, like just the GPM from that, 250 gold per cast of Devour, and it has a 40-second cooldown. So that's 375 GPM?
Yeah, let's
Am I missing something here?
Let's do some math, Sinrin.
375 GPM from Devour if you cast it off cooldown.
Ooh. Nice. Resolution. Taking out that illusion.
Midas, and he gets the creep kill. Man, money.
Vici again being quite disciplined, staying in their base, knowing that a smoke gank was possible from OG. And this tier 2 tower. Oh, looks like Young 11 is taking a ton of damage from Resolution. That's a godlike streak for him.
This is the timing here. Aegis push.
Blinding Light, annoying with the mana leak. Absolutely no mana to speak of. There's a telekinesis. Can they take out this Terrorblade? He has Sunder available.
No
S4
mana
on the sideline, very low. Of course, Resolution with that Aegis. Still pretty healthy overall. Paparazzi kiting to a high degree. We have Burrow Strike. It's going to hit. There's the Terrorize. He's going to dodge it with the Phase Shift. Now the Cursed Crown comes out, but Fly's taking the brunt of the damage with that Illusory Orb. Yules is keeping the puck alive for now.
DD is hitting so hard on No Tail.
Unbelievable damages. Weaver able to get out of that epicenter. Illusory Orb comes in. Ori, phase shifts. He's just all over the place, this guy. Lan M, though, he's resigned to his death. He gets Sunder onto Resolution. Will they be able to clean him up? No, the right clicks are enough for him. But you have to think somebody's going to come in and take that Aegis, and it's Ori. And they're going to clean up Fly on the backside, and Resolution's kind of alone here, but gets the reflection off 1v3. Who wins this fight? I don't know. There's the Burrow Strike. Jarex pops the Sandstorm. Lan M gets the Burrow Strike, though, that he stole a while ago. Resolution has to get out of here.
I guess he will be out of mana here. Sunder is ready again.
Let's see if he can get it off. It's going to be close. He gets force-staffed by his teammate across the cliff. Very nicely played. Hookshot S4, I believe, did that on his teammate to get closer. Resolution on the run. Very fast with that butterfly. But there's a coil onto 2. Into the Waning Rift, into the Illusory Orb. Resolution is dead. And Jerax trying to go to the high ground, but it's not going to be enough as Vici Gaming
God, so many good plays in that fight from everyone. That was a really nice fight. Probably the best fight, most well-played fight of the whole tournament. Just mechanically, really, really nice.
This is going to cost
come out ahead, and that was even without their Doom. Like, you've got to consider that as well. Yeah. Doom was dead the whole fight, and now Young 11 is joining the fray here. He has all of his stuff ready. 9-second BKB, that is. 9-second BKB, Doom, Shivas. Terrorblade has to buy back, or he's going to lose this Midrax. For sure, it's a daytime Caudle with Aghanims.
Yeah, that is disgusting.
This wave will not be taking any damage.
And Paparazzi,
well, but it will be healed again.
Level 25 has that speed boost on Shikuchi, so
he took that one.
Even harder to kill. And he's going to go in. Ori with the orb. Oh my goodness. No Tail gets absolutely decimated. S4 force-staffing away. But here comes Young 11 with the War Stomp. Actually able to get it off in time. The Infernal Blade's ticking him down, but looks like he will heal in the fountain just fine. Fortifications popped by OG. Bramble Maze comes out.
Remember when Viper was a tanky hero?
Yes, not with this build. Not with this build.
Died.
Tier 3 tower is dead. Resolution, there's no way he's buying back with only 10 seconds left on his death timer, so that means that's a dead mid-Rax at the very least.
Paparazzi's going all in on the itemization here. He buys the MKB, does not have buyback. Feeling very confident that they can stay on OG's side of the map and put pressure, and then even if they have a bad fight, will be able to respawn in time, hopefully for them. If he dies now without buyback and that costs them the game, that feels so bad being in that position. Right. So confident, but at the same time, risky.
It's like Puck positioning himself to get some Dagon Express going. Feeling very confident in himself. That burst damage is going to be pretty insane. Of course, we'll be going for the Boots of Travel first, it looks like.
Aghanim Scepter is fantastic when you're playing with Caudle, by the way. It's,
Blinding Light,
Just coil 2 heroes, you blind them out. It's such a long stun.
How much damage is it now when you break?
It's like, what is that, 700? And he has Veil.
Right?
He has Veil. Yeah. And it's a 4.5 second stun. So they can set that up. They have 2 Force Staffs as well that they can force them out with. Lots of repositioning possibilities for Vici Gaming to play around this this coil. Really good spell this game. Ori has been just playing incredibly the whole tournament, I think. Yeah, every game he's doing so well. This is not even his best performance. He had a couple of mistakes this game, but still doing so well even when he's not playing his best.
Despite all this, the hook shot just misses.
Oh, he got Doom!
Gaming actually want to go on this. Doom onto Resolution. Look at that break damage! The coil! Oh my lord, 2 heroes dead for OG, and it looks not to be stopping there as No Tail dies again. And Vici Gaming looking in great position to take this game. Resolution died pretty freaking fast there.
The moment he gets doomed, he's dead. Like, I think that coil did about 1,000 damage when he broke. He gets veiled, coil broken, and then Puck combos him with the rest, and there's like 2 hits from Weaver.
Plus he feels really bad about himself, which is the most important thing. I mean, he has a 6K net worth lead still after all this. That is the most ridiculous thing about it, I think.
But that's Doom for you, man. You're rich, but you lose it all. He presses a button on you, and you're just...
I mean, I say it all the time. It's easily the most powerful single target spell in the entire game.
Yes.
Not even close.
Absolutely. Doom is so strong. And this is the first time he finally gets it on the Terrorblade, and you just see the fight just ends. The moment he was doomed, I was like, this fight is over. Like, there's no way, no matter how well OG play that, they can't win.
Yeah.
And
oh, we have a telekinesis onto S4. He just dies so fast.
And we have a Sand King in trouble as well.
Yeah,
he's going to break. Look at that!
Wow.
He had like 30% health and just died from TPing out.
As this tier 3 tower is now under siege, buyback onto S4, but you have no resolution for 18 seconds. 38 minutes in the game. We might be seeing a second racks down for OG. Shadow Realm popped by Fly. He's just going to blow up right off the bat. Gets the Cursed Crown off, but not going to connect on a secondary target. He buys back into the game immediately. And this is going to be a second racks for Vici. I expect them just to back off here.
Oh, ran into the brambles.
Still available. The heals, it's nighttime. Ags is only half effective right now.
It is not effective.
Well, he gets the other effect, but you have 2 skills.
That is true, but the heal is really good, and it's more than half.
Is it? I don't know. Maybe. Ori in the top lane right now. All right, here's the question. Ori, I think, do you still go the gold talent in this game? He's so rich already. I mean, just think of the Dream Coil.
He could give a Moonshard to his whole team, like Moonshard Coddle.
Yeah, that's
Sick.
True. That is, but I just really want to see the other one. Really badly.
He doesn't have the itemization for rapid fire to be useful.
It's more like if you know you're going to win, you just do it.
Oh.
You know?
So this wasn't even an argument about whether it's good.
Well, in some games it is, sure, but very few. Very few. In fact,
this was a really useless conversation.
Okay.
Thank you, Shannon.
That's pretty much every conversation we have, I'm pretty sure. Paparazzi.
Yep. In and out of game.
Positioning himself for the Roche, but Roche is not going to be up for a little bit. In fact, it's actually a pretty short spawn here. About, I want to say 20 seconds or so.
No tail reveals his position.
This could be the end fight. S4 gets the hook shot off onto Doom. They have to control him before he gets that single target spell off. BKB pop. He's going to drop like a rock to resolution. Looks like Ori's going to take the brunt of the damage now. He gets phase shift off. Fly dies for OG. That's 1 for 1 right now.
Can't do anything.
Coil onto Rezo. It's a very long one. Jerax gets the nice burrow strike though. They're going to take out Coddle. The 2 for 1 is Lan M tries to truck away. Gets the 4-step off to safety.
Just watch how OG 20,000 gold down are doing the exact right thing. They're grouping up, they're making an aggressive play because they know they can't just play passively. They identify what target to go on, they go on him correctly, they combine their spells correctly, and actually manage to win that fight 2-1 by shutting down the Doom. And if they get a Roche off this, they're actually still in the game. This is really, really nice decision making from them. Ori, will he try for the steal? He doesn't have buyback.
Oh, they're going to pressure him with Jerax here. No.
I think he's going to give it up. Yeah.
Definitely give this up.
This is really good stuff from OG.
So this is Aegis and Cheese. Question is, who takes the cheese? Was that No Tail?
Yes. He can heal himself 1.5 times with that. 1600 max health.
1.5 times. That's helpful.
Yep.
Paparazzi.
Guess it matters if you get whatever that's called vesseled. But there's no vessel in the game.
True.
Lanham only went for the urn. Actually, should he have completed Vessel this game? I don't know.
I'm actually surprised that Vessel was very popular when it first came out, and it's kind of dropped off a bit.
It's also been pretty popular in the beginning of this tournament. We saw players go Vessel first item. Player like Puppy went Vessel first item on Shadow Shaman in a game. I believe on the first day it was picked up a lot at least. It's falling off a little bit. And I can't blame Rubik for going Linken's this game. I think it's really, really good. He's not buying it for himself. He's buying it to put on Doom.
Now, Resolution kind of has his team on his back right now. The question is, can Terrorblade somehow find a way to finish this game? Or will Vici Gaming take this series 2-0 and face Secret in the grand finals tomorrow? Looks like the Shrines will be the focus now for Vici.
Overwhelmingly Vici favored, obviously, but OG kept the game alive with that one play. If they don't get that Roche, I feel like the game is just flat out over. But now they have a chance. It's like, you're 20k gold behind, but you have the Aegis and Cheese, which obviously have a really high value. Is it enough for them to win a team fight if they don't catch Doom first? I don't think so.
I mean, in a lot of ways, this extends the game for 5 minutes, but in that 5 minutes, you have a Doom with Devour Midas, you have Puck with 420 gold per minute, and how many slots has Weaver finished at this point? Quite a few.
5, I think. Oh, 4.
He's doing pretty well for himself.
That's 5, yeah.
He's hitting like a truck, to say the least.
Coil.
And here we go with the Coil. Will No Tail have to pop the cheese? He goes invisible thanks to the Shadow Blade.
He would die if he broke it almost right now.
Yeah, 100%.
I know I'm focusing on that a lot, but it's pretty rare that you get to see it have such a high impact as it did in this game. The Coil breaks have been...
I mean, if you get 2 or 3 heroes in Coil and a Blinding Light, I think you just win that fight 100% of the time at this point of the game.
Absolutely.
A very strong combo, which means
And
OG cannot group up.
There's only one BKB in their team, so everybody else will be affected by the blind. Like, that's generally the item to counter Coddle later on. You either get MKB or BKB or both, and they have neither on only one BKB. Coddle is in God mode right now. It's so incredible to play this support at this stage of the game, and the itemization of the enemy team is this. It's like he can do whatever he wants almost, right? Like, he just mono-leaks a guy, he blinding lights to the others, and if they don't jump him, or especially the Doom, really quickly and isolate and kill that target off, he'll be able to just control the whole fight from support position, which is the reason that we saw Liquid win TS7 to an extent. They were so good at using
have a 40% magic resist at 20? Earthshaker is 50% at 25. That seems
That's a good talent. Yeah.
That seems pretty ridiculous to me.
He's 61% magic resist right now. Holy.
I mean,
that's
Coddle's
crazy.
Typically extremely squishy, but definitely not this game.
That's pretty crazy. I actually haven't checked his talent since it got changed, I think. This is unfamiliar to me. Gets cast range on 15. Wow, they're really good.
Look at the farm discrepancy here. The gold breakdown, I should say, between Resolution and Paparazzi. That is quite a telling tale. A lot of creeps is basically what we're saying.
It's Terrorblade for you.
Yeah.
He has 13 kills too, so it's not like he's only been farming, but Paparazzi's 16, 0, and 15 this game. On his signature Weaver.
You were saying at the beginning of the game, you think this might be his best hero, in fact.
He's showing how to play Weaver this game. Let's call it that. Oh, mid lane.
Orchid onto Puck. The Terrorize coming out. It's going to hit one hero.
He's fine.
Clockwork trying to get out of dodge here. There's the blinding light onto 3 heroes. No coil.
Oh, stolen
by Lanham. Looks like Esper is going to find his way to the grave. Coil onto 2 heroes. No more blinding light to work with. So they have to stand their ground as Paparazzi just takes out Fly very easily. There's the Doom. This time applied to No-Tail. He gets bursted down. Lanham and company are doing so much work, but now Resolution pops the BKB, trying to work towards Paparazzi. Gets that Shikuchi off. Trying to find that kill on the sidelines towards Jerax, who gets the Burrow Strike off in Resolution. Does he have Sunder is the question. He does, but he still has Aegis, of course. Gets Dagon. There's the Sunder coming out. See if they can do some more damage. As Young 11 right on top of him.
No
that's
meta
one death. No meta, that's correct. Jerax onto 2 heroes with Burrow Strike. Lanham steals it. The question is, can he find him? He will. And that's 3 dead. Now a buyback onto the SK as Resolution looks like he might be resolved to his own death. Does get Force Staff though. Nice one from Jerax, who buys back into the game. The Swarm is continuing to apply. There's the Sunder onto Jerax though, keeping alive just that much longer. How much long? He took the minus 35-second Sunder cooldown, by the way. Yeah. What is it? Is that a 5-second cooldown?
10, I think. 5, yeah, you're 5. You're right. It used to be 10 with the talent.
That's pretty insane.
It's pretty sick. The other talent is really good too, though. You actually, most of the time you see Terrorblades take the other talent on 25. 300 attack range in Metamorphosis is crazy, especially for pushing high ground. But in this game, they're just not in a position where that seems to be an option right now. Yeah. So OG, they stay alive, but that was another 10,000 gold down the drain, basically, to not lose the game. And it's only going to get harder. They had the Cheese and Aegis that fight and got crushed.
Right.
No-Tail didn't even get the Cheese off. He got Doom and died in 2 attacks. So really, really rough game for him.
Burrow Strike, double Burrow Strike in fact, and Force Staffs galore. Looks like a hookshot applied to the Coddle. He gets Telekinesis, does S4. Resolution now with that Cursed Crown from Fly. They should be able to find Fenrir unless Paparazzi has something to say about that. Looks like Resolution's gonna focus on that Godless Horse. Nice double Burrow Strike from Lanham. He's getting tons of Burrow Strikes this game. 1 for 1 buyback on the Coddle. In fact, there's the Coil onto 3 heroes. Can Vici finish this game right here, right now? There's a Sunder onto the teammate, keeping him alive is Resolution. Paparazzi just rips right through Viper. And it looks like this might be the beginning of the end. Paparazzi getting quite low. Resolution, you have to be careful with this 5-second Sunder. You can apply it to Fenrir. They're not used to playing against this, that's for sure. Illuminate coming out. Resolution has to stand his ground here. Paparazzi pops time-lapse. Not a whole lot of life gained from that. Triple kill for Ori, and that's the Dagon Express coming your way. Burst damage is always great against Terrorblade, especially when that BKB is offline.
Oh, Weaver died. He actually got killed by Rezo.
He buys back into the game, though. So a 1 fight, technically speaking, from Vici.
Can
OG, see if they can finish this game now.
If they can possibly kill this Weaver again, they could still win the game, but it's going to take some sort of miracle now. It's 5 against 3. They're pushing the tower from Mega Creeps. If they get these Megas and Paparazzi gets out alive, the game's over. Oh, he's Doom. That's gotta be it.
That's the Doom. Illusory Orb, and down he goes to the Dagon again from Ori, the bane of his existence. And Vici, looks like Fly might be able to find Doom on the backside, but so much damage has been done from Vici. Looks like the structural damage is next as the 4th member of OG falls. And OG is now eliminated from Captain's Draft 4.0. And Vici looks very good. Very good, Cinder.
I really like this game. I think this was one of the best played games of the tournament. Vici do end up winning it, but gotta say, both teams played really, really well at specific timings in this game. There's a lot of things to talk about, obviously, but overall, yeah, Vici Gaming, they're ready for the finals. Gotta say, very nice. Very nice, dude.
Yeah, that was a crazy game to watch. I mean, resolution, highest net worth in the game pretty much for the entirety of that game, but just couldn't find a way to get the teammates on the same